Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Captain Swan podcast, number 80. I am your host, Michelle, to the end of the world or time on Tumblr, and these are the people with me today.
Hi, I'm Alex, and my Tumblr is Jolly Old Roger.
Hi, I'm Lisa, and I'm You Brought Me Home.
Hi, I'm Rams, and I'm Aloha Forever.
Hi, I'm Ro, and I am Ginny Jingston Handshot Reader First on Tumblr.
Okay. Hi, I'm Shannon. I'm Mind Your Helm on Tumblr.
Okay, so as you'll notice, three old people are back again.
Yes,
So-
I'm alive.
They're not dead. They're back. And also, neat piece of fun facts. Me and Lisa are in the same place. Lisa's visiting me in Nashville. We saw the dust storm today, so
Aww,
for the first time ever, we're doing the podcast from the same place.
that is so cool.
Okay, so we've got a bunch of questions, and we're going to start with the heart of the episode, the title of the episode. Thank you for that anvil there, Adam and Eddie. On the Ruby Slippers relationship. I'm assuming that's what we're all calling it. The first one is from Mai, who's not here today, but she has things to say as usual. I'm glad Ruby is a confirmed bisexual, and I'm glad there's a LGBT TLK, and I didn't like how rushed it was to the fact that once again Mulan is.
But
What?
I know, I'm trying to figure this out because she didn't
Probably
type it very well. Mulan
probably
is,
sidetracked.
yeah,
Pushed to the side, probably.
basically that Mulan got screwed over again, and that she still thinks Red Warrior would have been better, but as long as Mulan gets a happy ending, she's good. And another aside, why is Isabelle plot so ridiculous? Why not just leave us now? But
Oh my
back to
God. Oh my God.
back to Ruby Slippers. What did everybody think about Ruby and Dorothy? And were you surprised? Alex, go.
No, I wasn't surprised. I saw that coming because of the title, not because of anything else.
Did you think it was well done? Did you think it was rushed?
I think it was a little rushed, but I didn't really care, to be honest.
Shannon, what did you think?
Same. I think it was rushed. I was not surprised after reading the episode description about Ruby looking for Dorothy. It was like so obvious that that it was going to be them paired together. A lot of people are like, no, they're in like denial. I was like, come on. And plus, I think the chemistry did not work out with Milan in the first half, and they kind of switched it. And they're like, let's try something else, because apparently that didn't work in the first one. So, overall opinion of the episode, I give it 2 Captain Swan faces. There was some Captain Swan. That's my new thing. I'm doing that now. There was some Captain Swan in there, but like overall, as Ruby and Dorothy, I think I saw more out of Ruby as emotionally connected to Dorothy, opposed to Dorothy being connected to Ruby.
You mean that Dorothy essentially had the personality of a cardboard box?
Yeah. So, I mean, she was just very. Well, we don't know because she was sleeping most of the time. And, like, she was, like, hardly. And when she did have interaction with Ruby, it was sort of like, where the fuck is my dog kind of deal. And sort of. So I was more concerned about the dog than really Ruby. And then they only had, like, one scene in the poppies. And I was like, okay. But, I mean, I don't despise the ship or anything like that. And I'm not one of those people that it just felt like that should have built up the whole entire season. They really kind of, I think they screwed up they should have had it built up in 5A, and it would make more sense in 5B.
Ro, what did you think?
It was okay for me. I mean, like, it was rushed, but at the end of the day, which supporting couple on this show hasn't been rushed? I mean, Ariel and Eric after just one dance, and don't even get me started on like Kristoff and Anna like going what 2 days or something. And it, but I've just always been in Dorothy and Ozma shipper, so I'm a little disappointed, but I'm happy for Ruby.
Rams, what did you think?
I mean, I too had figured it out going in from the episode description and the stills and all those things that we got. So, I mean, I was kind of hoping to see if it would be good, but it just didn't work for me. It was just so rushed. I mean, yeah, the show does rush romances, but they don't like end up they don't meet both meet and end up together in the same episode. Like even Eric and Ariel, yeah, they fell in love fast, but she had to wait for like decades before she got together with him again. And same with Aurora and Philip. Like he was looking for her for a long time, and then they had the true love's kiss. So I just feel like I'm a little disappointed in Adam and Eddie for like this was such a pivotal episode because they're introducing an LGBT character. So I just felt like they just didn't put in enough effort into it. They just were trying to check off a box or something. I mean, I don't hate Dorothy or anything. It's just I barely know her. How can we even care about her?
That
We
is
barely
That's
know
it.
her.
that's my point as well. Is that we've seen Dorothy in a grand total of 3 episodes, counting this one. One of them she was a child and wasn't played by an actress. The other one was earlier this season where she was confronting Zelina, and she was there for 3 minutes. And then we have this
Yeah.
one. It's like we're not invested in her as a character, so why should we care that a character we are invested in, Ruby, is suddenly being hooked up with this person? The only thing that we know they have in common is the fact that Dorothy likes dogs and Ruby.
That's not a good foundation for a relationship.
And seriously, I mean, I was one of the people who said that the chemistry with Ruby and Mulan was lacking, and that was a reason why they probably decided to change direction. But in my opinion, the chemistry with Ruby and Dorothy isn't much better.
Yeah, it's worse. It was
I
like-
think
worse.
I think Ruby and Belle should have done it. That would have been the best because then it would make sense to get rid of Rumple and they would clear up a lot of
That-
crap.
Right, and a lot of people pointed out that that's like a Beauty and the Beast relationship, you
Yeah.
know?
Oh
I
yeah.
think it would have worked out so
They wanted to do
well.
something, they should have thrown that apple out there because that would have made more sense.
But I
Or
was
Mulan and Merida, I think they had great chemistry.
Yes, Mulan and Merida would have worked fine. Lisa, what did you think on Ruby Slippers?
Well, I have to agree that I do believe that it was rushed. Like everyone else, I kind of had my suspicions that it was going to be them, especially after the episode description where they were saying that she was put under an unbreakable curse. I'm like, well, okay. I guess there goes our hopes for the true love's kiss. But yeah, I have no problem with there being an LGBTQ. I am all for that. Great, put it there. It deserves to be there. But it does a disservice to a community that's been trying to get more representation when all they get is 3 minutes for a couple that barely knows each other for like 2 seconds and automatically just claims to have true love after a 5-minute walk. I mean, okay, I know that this show is known, like you said, for the quick romance or the snowing and whatever, but those characters are also established in the Disney pantheon as being true love couples. Philip and Aurora, Ariel and Eric, Snow and Charming. Their love, we already know this. It's established. So anything else we get is just more development of something that we already accept. But when you got characters that don't have that interaction, like Dorothy and Mulan or Dorothy and Ruby, who don't have that background, you need a little more development than a 5-minute walk in the fucking woods. I'm sorry. And to be honest, Dorothy was nothing but rude, and she had the depth of sandpaper, and she was mean to Ruby almost the whole time. I understand that she probably went through a lot because of what her parents did to her, thinking that she was crazy. But still, I didn't feel the chemistry. I felt more chemistry between her and Mulan in 5A than I did between them in the 5-minute scene that they got. Like, how, after everything that these other couples have been through, to scratch and claw to get close enough to a true love's kiss, and saying how important that is supposed to be, you throw it off on them. I'm not saying that it's not important to have representation, but don't, like you said, don't make it seem like it's a check in a box. Make it worthwhile. Make it important, not just, okay, boom, done, bye-bye. Because they're just going to feel like they're being, okay, here's what you wanted, now go away.
Well, I'm wondering if they're making these true love kisses now a little bit more political. I know that's the word I'm going with now, because I mean, like, think about the ones. Okay, it started off as like, oh, true love, blah blah blah, but then they wanted an adopted parent to do it, and now they want, it's sort of getting to like, well, true love kiss is now like a political statement.
No. They're trying to make something valid without putting in the actual work to do it. They just want the true love kiss to make it valid.
So here's an interesting question, and we're going to talk about this where we've got questions on the CST, and we'll probably talk about this more then, but here's a question to think about in the meantime. Does having all of these kisses coming so easily to some of these couples, does it cheapen a true love's kiss for you?
Well, I had that conversation with someone else, and I was like, I want something. I mean, like, yeah, we've had. Well, it's.
Well, like I said, hold that. We'll put a pin in this.
Okay.
We've got CSTLK talk coming up, but I've got 2 more questions on this LGBTQ thing, and they're both about poor Mulan who got shafted again. So I'll read them both. Stacy asked, "With for the love of Pete, this is all messed up." Canon Ruby is great. Canon Bi Ruby is great, and she is happy. But my problem is we already had a Bi confirmed Mulan, and yet she was used to give advice to Ruby. Like, to be honest, why didn't they just have Mulan and Dorothy then? And then Anonymous says, disappointed but not surprised that the LGBT couple is Ruby Slippers. Mulan deserves to be happy too. Do you think there's a chance that Mulan can come back and finally find her happy ending, maybe with a female Shang or a female Were Dragon, and then they can be called Dragon Warrior? So what about Mulan, guys?
I wouldn't hold my hopes up for that. I mean, there's so many things that Adam and Eddie leave behind that, I don't know.
Maybe she could get with one of the Munchkins now that she's in Oz.
Right?
Oh, I know. This was my question at the end of the episode. I'm like, so did Mulan stay in Oz where the only other people are Munchkins? Did she go with Snow back to Storybrooke? Did she then hop the slippers back to the Enchanted Forest? Where did she go?
I'm almost glad that they haven't done anything with it, because I would be afraid that if they did have her come back to try and manufacture some sort of story for her, that she's going to get shafted the way that Michael Soka got shafted with Will Scarlet, that Sean is obviously getting shafted with Robin Hood. It's obvious that when you have extraneous characters, they are so inundated with plot that they don't have enough to give them. They bring them on thinking they're going to give them shit, and then they don't, and these people are stuck here doing nothing. Mulan, the way Jamie plays her, she's a great character. She deserves better than sitting around and doing nothing. So if she doesn't come back, it's probably for the best. I know that she's shafted and that she deserves to be able to be happy, but I would rather her not be there and headcanon that she's happy than have her come on and then get shafted and her not doing shit.
Rams, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm really disappointed that they did nothing with Mulan. I mean, I do hope that they might bring her back in the future, like a gender-bent Shang or something will be great, but I just don't trust these writers anymore, because it took them 2-3 seasons to bring Mulan back, and they shafted her again. So, I mean, I think there's very little chance for Mulan's story to ever get wrapped up, so I don't know. I think we just have to I mean, it'd be great if they come back and give a storyline for her, but I don't think I'm going to be expecting it.
Ro?
At this point, I don't really have any expectations. If they bring her back and she gets her happy ending, that's fine. But if they don't, well, that's fine too. Jamie can just move on to better things.
Shannon, do you also think that we're never going to see Mulan again?
She'll pop up when we need her. Is my expectation with that. Like, but right now, they left it pretty open. Like, what happened to her, and so yeah.
Oh, and also, plot hole, how did Ruby and Mulan get to Oz in the first place? They never
There's
did tell
that-
us.
I think there's this door between the Enchanted Forest and Oz that Rumpel sent Robin through, remember?
They must have, that's the only other way I can think of.
Yeah, I don't know why they got there.
But why on earth would Ruby think her pack was in freaking Oz? Like, it makes no sense.
It would have made more sense at the end of the Bear King, the most boring episode in the world, that they actually had her talk about this, like that she is, add a little bit more to that, Ruby Slippers ship if you're gonna be like, say like, oh, like, yes, ask that stupid, like, what's her name, that witch, the witch from Brave, like, ask her, like, I'm trying to find my pack and stuff like that, but that leads them to Oz or something, and then they go along. But then that would make it, like, look like, oh, it's leading her to her true love.
No, I think if they had, at the end of the Bear King, now they probably, see, this is the problem. If at the end of the Bear King they had sent, done that bit and somehow told Ruby that her pack was in Oz or whatever, and we see them go there, and then the 5B episode picks up where that left off, and that's when they meet Dorothy and all this stuff happens, and we'd have seen them in the earlier episode with Zelina, then this would have gone better. But I think that Shannon's right, that they changed their minds at like the last minute and went with Dorothy instead of Mulan, and that just screwed everything up.
You can tell because there's details that are missing, like you said, why they went, how they got there, and also how the hell how the hell she got to the underworld using a tornado portal that previously only Zelina was able to conjure.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's very sloppily done, and I think that if they were going to do it, the storyline deserved a better effort.
Like, unless Ruby was looking for a pack of bear monkeys, it makes no sense,
No sense.
for her to be in Oz.
It's obvious that they were wanting to do this Ruby and Mulan thing, and the chemistry just, I'm guessing, just didn't work. So
it is easier to get into different realms and skip portals than it is to get into Burger King, apparently. So,
but that's the thing I don't understand. If they wanted to have Ruby be the LGBTQ character, that's fine, even though we already have Mulan. If you're gonna cast a love interest for her, have that person read with Megan Ori in the casting process.
Yeah!
So that they have chemistry before you do it. Don't just throw them together and expect stuff to happen. You can't hit the Colin and Jen gold mine every time.
I think they missed the mark on this, even though they were trying to make everybody excited about it, and then they were like, they did their interview, and then they want to take the interview back, and then everybody thought it was going to be Mulan and Ruby, and then they're like, crap, everybody knows that, so we don't want them to be like, oh, boring, we already knew that. Let's change it. Oh, that didn't work either. Oh,
that exactly sounds like what Andy would have done. Oh, let's introduce a shocking twist. Let's surprise and change everything.
What's worse is that they're like, is that every interview they've given, they're like, well, we wanted to do this to make it as as natural as possible.
Except
that the relationship makes sense in the real world. I'm like, nothing about this is natural. They went on a 5-minute walk.
I know.
5-minute walk, and
it gave her a flower.
True love. That is not natural.
Yeah, she gave her a poppy flower.
That would make her go to sleep every night too.
No, but like I'm sure I wasn't the only one when they were asking, who could be Dorothy's true love, and I was thinking, oh, Toto.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, there were several people who
That
thought it would be
dog did
Toto.
not seem to like Ruby either. He kept barking and
Yeah.
barking at her.
Yeah, and I think if the
He
dog
did
doesn't
not
like
approve.
you, if
He
the
did
dog
not
doesn't
He did not approve of that ship, apparently.
exactly, that's what I was about to say. If the dog doesn't like you, then clearly it's not true love. I mean, come on.
Okay, this is what they should have done. Toto waits, kisses Dorothy, and she turns into a lady because she's been cursed into being a dog or something. And then Ruby and Mulan just look at each other, and suddenly they realize that they love each other or something like that, and they should have ended with that.
I was just
Yeah.
appalled that we know for sure Mulan is at the very least bisexual, most likely a lesbian, and
Right.
they had her be the pep talk giver rather than the actual person.
At least they didn't
in a
kill her.
relationship.
At least they didn't kill her.
I mean,
they could have
no,
done that.
That's true. Yeah.
That is very true, given the
That is
state of
Given
very
TV
true.
lately.
Given the
Thank God she's
patterns
not
of-
dead. But the look on her face
I
when she
know.
sees Ruby and Dorothy making out, and also aside, why have they gotten to make out longer than Captain Swan? This upsets us.
And it was that kiss was fire. I was like,
But all I could look at was that Dorothy was wearing socks.
But the look on
I noticed that. I was like, what the hell is that? Oh yeah, she took the ruby slipper, so she doesn't have any shoes.
Oh my god!
the look on Mulan's face as she's watching her friends like be happy, and she's still alone and still
Aw.
can't find a nice princess to love. I'm just like, really, Adam and Eddie, really?
It's like she has this plastered on smile where she's trying to be happy, but you can tell she's internally screaming.
But
Yeah.
Why
Snow
not
seemed to
me?
approve it. She wiped a
You
tear away.
guys-
She's like,
Do you guys remember Jamie Chung tweeted something a while back saying, if you promise to do something, you have to do it. It's the principle of the thing or something. And then she said it wasn't about that, but maybe this is what she was talking about. Do you guys remember what I'm talking about?
actually, I don't know if you guys have been following today's stuff, like with the con that's in the UK, but they did mention about this relationship, and Megan did think it was going to be with Jamie. They both thought it was going to be with Mulan. So, and then also Beverly was also said something about like, yeah, it was kind of rushed. So Beverly was like, yeah, that's.
She'll just,
yeah.
Beverly can say whatever she wants because she'll just track down Adam and Eddie with Granny's crossbow if
know.
they threaten to get away.
Threatened her with the lasagna. That's pretty much.
Okay, so let's move on to what almost everybody thought was the best part of the episode, Captain Charming.
Woo.
whoa, that was so unexpected. I did not expect that.
Okay, so we had two questions. I'm going to read them both at the same time. The first one is for Mai. So since she's not going to be here, I just need everyone to rate the Captain Charming from number one being best friends forever. So whatever, I guess. And then Anonymous wants to know, question for the next podcast, what did you think of the Captain Charming scene we got in this episode? Alex, go.
I rated 1,000,000, and it was so good. I didn't even expect that, and that's what I liked. That it was so unexpected, and I love that little when Killian just leaned over after oh my god, I lost my train of thought. After Charmin said that, that made he cared about him a little bit.
Having Killian and David in the same room, it's totally understandable you'd lose your train of thought. It's fine. Shannon, what did you think?
I give it 5 Captain Swan faces. Doing that now, I tell you. I thought it was awesome. It was just what we needed to cheer us up after this episode. So, I need more of this, in the future, of course.
Of course. Ro, what did you think of Captain Charming?
Suck it, Arthur.
Yeah, I know.
I just, well, all long overdue, and I'm very glad that they're talking about this because very soon he's going to be proposing to his daughter.
No,
Yes, it's
it's
very important.
it's gonna be like meet the parents, and he's gonna propose to him. Charming is gonna be, will you be my son-in-law? And gives him a ring.
Rams, what did you think of Captain Charming?
Oh, it was the best part of the episode. I loved it so much. I have rewatched it like about 20 times now. I just liked it so much. And I do like the part where like Huck leans in like, what?
Yeah.
What is it?
Say
And
that
then
again.
Charming is kind of this shy smile and like, oh, he doesn't want to admit it. It was so sweet. I loved it so much.
Lisa, what did you think?
10 of 10 would bang. Yes, best scene of episode by far. It's always great. We've had a spectacular dearth of Captain Charming for a very long time, so it was exquisite to finally see them together again to support the fact that yes, they have this friendship. It's very important. Also because the last episode we had it come from Snow that they confirmed that they made that it was their choice and theirs alone to come down there. Emma did not force them to come down. They did it not just for Emma, but because they also care about Hook. We got them from Snow, and now we got that second backup also from Charming. Yes, he said, "Well, I did it for Emma," but Hook's like, "I'm sorry, what now? What? Okay."
You've grown on
It's
me.
like, all right, fine, yes.
Don't
They
push
did
it.
Emma did not force them. Listen up, haters in the back. Emma did not force them. They came down of their own volition because they care about Hook and they wanted to bring him back. Thank you.
Here.
They have this dynamic that is so like natural and easy, and I always love when they work together because just the way that Emma and Hook are a great team, Charming and Hook are also a really good team. It was great that they managed to figure out that plan where he would use his hook to change the names on the headstones. I was looking at that scene going, now you know that you can do this. How about you put Rumple's name on all the headstones? You can leave him down there. Good.
Bad form.
Well, I would also give it, 5 out of 5. Holy crap, awesomeness. Thank God the scene is finally happening. I suspected it would when I saw when we saw the script tease for it. I was like, I hope right after Killian says, I figured that Charming would then, grumblingly say that, yeah, you're kind of growing on me. Because it would be funny. And then it did. And I was like, yes. But yeah, I also liked the way that the show had the guys do one plot and the ladies do the other plot, so that we actually got the bro bonding time with the bonus Captain Charming Cobra scene with Cruella and Claude. And why didn't they mention that Hook killed Claude? Like, what's
I
up with
know.
Yeah, he wasn't like, hey, buddy, remember me?
Do you guys remember that fan art, the hookless fan art that Colin and Josh recreated, where
Yes.
Colin is putting guy liner on Josh?
Yes.
I think it was for this episode.
I think it was too.
So cute.
So after they told each other they like each other, they started giving each other makeovers, apparently. So that's what
Braid
happened.
each other's hair.
Cannot tell me otherwise.
I just like the end scene where he reveals that he switched David's or Snow's name for David so that she could go home to be with their son. The look that's exchanged between Emma and Hook, that she's so... It's a look of pure love that she was so proud of him that he did that to give her mother the chance to go home. And
Let's
because
appreciate it.
we know that Killian has trouble accepting the idea of him being a hero, and this is just like another check mark in that box that yes, you are one, and she gives him the hug. It was just so sweet. It was
Let's appreciate Hook's, 5-year-old writing on that tombstone.
Okay,
too.
can I talk about this for a second, because because sometimes when people, like, I'm not saying you're doing this, Shannon, but I'm
No,
saying
I'm not.
I've seen other people, you
I
know, say they laughed when they saw that, and I'm like, you guys do realize that A, the man is handicapped, B, that's a stone, and he's using a hook. So can we not expect perfect calligraphy here, y'all?
And
Come
see the
on.
angle at which he'd have to do it, being that the stone was so low to the ground, make
Exactly.
it
So it's like, yeah,
spectacularly difficult.
let's not make fun of the disabled guy here, people. That's all I'm asking.
I wish we
Okay.
had the
Yeah.
scene where Charming was watching him do this, though.
Okay,
Deleted
so
the
Yeah.
scene.
This was a long time coming because I feel like they've been growing apart ever since David chose Arthur to go on that quest with him to get the Crimson Crown. They could have avoided all of this if he just asked Killian to go.
Mm-mm.
well,
Yeah.
hopefully when they get back to Storybrooke, they will team up to kick Arthur's ass.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
The other important thing that came out of the conversation was that even though he's made peace with wanting his life back and wanting to go back to Storybrooke, the guilt he feels is still there. And I think it will always be there no matter what. He still feels badly for them being down there and risking themselves to help him. He feels badly for what he did as the Dark One. I don't think it really matters how much everyone tells him that if he's not responsible, he's going to continue to feel that for a long time.
Okay, well, the next set of questions are on Captain Swan, so which is what we're all here for. Yay. Um,
Yay.
Anonymous wants to know, question for the next podcast. This might seem like an odd question to ask, but I just wanted to know what you thought of this. Why do you think they put Emma in that big black coat she was wearing in this episode instead of the red leather jacket she's been wearing this half of the season? I did not think Emma packed any clothes to wear in the underworld except the one she was wearing. I don't know. What did you think? And just speaking for me, it is really, really cold in Vancouver. So if they're filming outside, the red leather jacket is not going to cut it, and they had to put her in a heavier coat. I mean, that's like where did Lana's beanie come from? They have clothes in the underworld. It's fine.
They probably raided their closets in the underworld house.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm pretty certain that was a whole case of Jen going, okay,
I'm cold.
I'm freezing, I'm cold, I want a fucking coat. That's why during season 1 she started wearing beanies. That was all Jen, because Jen was cold.
Yeah.
And apparently, with Regina was holding a purse in the cemetery. It was like, okay, if Regina can bring accessories, I think she can have a jacket. So.
Okay, so if we all agree on that,
Yeah.
these next two are kind of the same, so I'll read them both. Anonymous wants to know, question for the next podcast, does it seem to the rest of you that this half of the season is really lacking in a Captain Swan storyline? I mean, I'm enjoying what we've gotten, but I just feel like the Captain Swan storyline has taken a back seat, and it just doesn't feel right to me. What do you guys think? Anonymous also wants to know, question for the next podcast. I'm kind of annoyed but not really surprised that we were promised a Hook-centric arc season, but so far it's been Hook light, especially from 516 on. I feel like the only centric episode we got of him was Brothers Jones, and even then it felt rushed. Instead, half the plot of this arc has been about Selena and Hades. What are your thoughts on this? Alex, go.
Well, I'm not too surprised because every season that kind of happens. Where we get, like, when we get into the middle of the season, like, yeah, from going on from, like, episode 16 until 17 or 18, we lack Captain Swan a lot, so I don't know. I'm not too surprised about it. I mean, I'd like a little bit more, but I can't get my expectations high anymore. So, I mean, I'm content with what we got, but yeah, then again, I'm not surprised. I always keep my expectations low. That way I don't get disappointed in the end. So, I
Good
mean,
point.
yeah. I mean, I'd want a little bit more. And I feel like we're going to get something huge towards the end, so I'm holding on to that. And I'm kind of enjoying the Zelina, because I like Zelina. Zelina's one of my favorite characters, so I'm speaking for myself. I'm kind of enjoying it now, but not as much as Captain Swan.
Rams, what do you think?
Yeah, I too am a little disappointed that we haven't had too many Captain Swan moments. I mean, I kind of expected that this arc wasn't really going to be about Captain Swan because there was just a reason for them to go to the underworld, but still, I mean, they've kind of taken a huge backseat. But at least the season is not bad because sometimes in the B arcs we barely get any Captain Swan. Plus, I don't like the storyline, so I guess I'm not too disappointed. Yeah.
Shannon?
I'm not surprised because that is sort of what they do. They kind of like mislead it to be, oh, it's going to be Regina's the savior in 5A. Oh, guess
Yeah.
what? That didn't happen. Regina was like hardly there. And then, or like, oh, it's all about Save Henry. Oh, no, it's about Rumple and his dad. So it's like, so I'm not surprised that, this got kind of sidelined, but I don't like it that it's just hit for like 4 episodes straight, that it's very small Captain Swan scenes or anything like that. There's no like really major development
I mean,
except
even in 4B, we had in the middle of the arc, we had the don't you know Emma, it's you
yeah,
moment.
yeah.
There's
Mm-hmm.
been
We
nothing
didn't even
like
get
that
that.
since 515.
Well, I think that episode, because Killian's episode was in 15, and last season that episode where it was Killian centric was in 17. So they're kind of like their spacing of episodes of like, it's like, oh, we got Killian, oh, we got Captain Swan, and then we're gonna have like 5 episodes of Zelina. It's like, okay, I don't. Okay, I know Zelina needs to be focused because in 5A she was a mute person, literally a mute person. But it just felt like, okay, when are we getting back to everybody else again? Because it's been a while.
Ro, what do you think?
It's just to be expected with an ensemble show. Some characters get a backseat and others, but I think what they're building up to is obviously defeating Hades, so they can resurrect Killian.
Yeah.
And obviously, I mean, Zelina's awesome, so I'm fine with her getting a storyline.
Well, yeah, and that's what I think. I think your opinion on this depends on how much you like Selena or not. Like those of us who either don't care about her or are ambivalent or just flat out don't like her are bored out of our minds.
It's a big. The balance is just not. It doesn't feel there. Like it's just. I don't
Yeah.
know. Like even we don't even have Hades' background story yet. It's like he's in love with Zelina. That's it. Okay. All right. It's sort of like Dorothy and Ruby. We don't know why you're in love with this person. Okay, but you are.
Lisa, what do you
I
think?
think he just wants to restart his heart so he can like overthrow Zeus.
Yeah.
I honestly think that there's a lot of factors that go into this. One, like you said, it all depends on your investment in the character and or couple. I'm not really much of a Zelina fan. I think she's doing better in that she's starting to come around a little bit from what she was in season 3 and season 4. But I think that the show has pacing problems. I think it has some writing issues, and it has with the 11 episode arcs that they are so worried about getting everything shoved into that 11 episode block that they either overdo it on one side or the other. They're never able to hit a good middle ground. It's either you can always tell how it's going to turn out. The first couple episodes will be really exciting and really good with the development and action, and then the next couple are totally boring.
But do you notice it's like that with also the media? Like they're not doing any interviews on anything. Like
I know
it's
I
just
haven't
like
seen
dry.
not a one, but it's like they either sacrifice development for plot, or they sacrifice plot for development, and there doesn't seem to be a good middle ground. These last 4 episodes that they've done, they've sacrificed a major arc of the story, which is them helping souls the other side and getting Killian out of the underworld for this development ship for Selena and Hades. When this arc first started, I was like, oh, Hades is Greg German's doing a great job, awesome, blah, blah, blah. This was before we found out the connection between him and her. But now that they've moved into the whole Hades in love with Zelina thing, now Hades has just become a Smurfest. Because he's all about wanting to be with her, and he's like, the only reason that he even killed uh,
M.
Auntie M was to prevent them from. Well, he really did it for Zelina, honestly, to prevent them from waking up Dorothy. It didn't have anything to do with keeping them down there. He just, well, that and to scare everybody else so they wouldn't talk to Emma and her family or whatever. But he, apart from that, he hasn't done anything to stop them. He keeps saying, "Oh, you're gonna pay for that, you meddling kids," but he hasn't done shit to stop them. He's become so wrapped up in the romance. And don't get me wrong, I'm all for a good romance story, but this character it does a disservice to Greg German having to play Hades this way. I would prefer him to be an aromantic character and just be the big bad,
Mm-hmm.
and not have to have any entanglements with them other than trying to prevent them from taking Killian out of the underworld. Them giving this romance story with her, it's not because I don't like her as a character, it's because it doesn't feel right for the overall story arc. They're supposed to be down
Yep.
there to save souls and to get him out of there, and they haven't done any of this shit. All it's been about is the romance. I'm like, oh, come on. And now in the last, for 2021 and the last two episodes, are going to be shoving everything into the last 4
Well, that's what they
to
always do.
finish off all that plot. It's all going to be rushed and shit. I don't want it to be rushed.
Okay, well, we've got a couple questions on the ever elusive Captain Swan True Love's Kiss. So I will read them both and then we will discuss. Hooked on Killing for Life 28 wants to know, for the next podcast, I don't think we're going to get a CSTOK this season, but I think we might get a True Love moment of some kind. But I think they should save the CSTOK for the very end of the show, whenever that may be. It would be amazing if they bookended the show with a CSTOK to parallel Stowing in the first episode. I think they have to save some of the big CS moments for the end of the series. What are your thoughts on this? Anonymous wants to know, question for the next podcast. I know a lot of people want Captain Swan to have a TOK this season, but I think we might be getting something bigger than that. I don't know what, but I think that whatever special payoff they have planned for Captain Swan this season, it might be something a lot bigger. What are your thoughts on this?
I agree. I think that we're not gonna get a True Love's Kiss from Captain Swan, but I feel like we're gonna get something. I don't know if bigger, but we're gonna get something big.
I mean, I look at it this way, that Killian's not cursed, he's dead. So therefore,
Exactly.
Emma is using their true love to literally bring him back to life. It doesn't get any bigger than that, guys. So I would actually prefer this over a, in my opinion, run-of-the-mill True Love's Kiss.
Exactly, and Captain Swan hasn't done anything ordinary. They always do something out of the ordinary.
Shannon, what do you think?
Well, I don't think we're gonna get a True Love's Kiss. I don't think after Ruby had one, they're not gonna do back-to-back True Love Kisses. Everybody gets a kiss. It's like, I think that was it for the season. But for Captain Swan, I think they will get a confirmed True Love something.
I mean, Emma and her BFF Elsa had True Love's handshake.
Yeah.
So come on, guys.
Yeah. So I mean, it's coming. Don't be disappointed. I think what should have happened really is Ruby Slipper should have been the follow-up of 520, because I think everybody was like really pissed off. I think we have to wait for 520.
Yeah. Rams, what do you think?
Yeah, same. I'm totally okay if Captain Swan doesn't get a True Love's Kiss this season. And anyway, the True Love's Kisses are a dime a dozen now, so I would rather they be confirmed as True Love by some other special manner. So, because Emma is the main character, so if they do something extra special for that, I'll be totally cool with it.
Ro, what do you think?
I mean, it's just like every season. I expect a payoff, but I don't expect anything specific.
That's probably the best plan.
Yeah.
Lisa, what do you think?
I have to agree. I think after what they did with Ruby Slippers, that if Captain Swan was to get a True Love's kiss after they just kind of wasted one after a 5-minute meeting, it wouldn't have the impact that we know Captain Swan deserves, the emotional impact and the importance. We already know, we don't know the exact details, but what we do know for sure is that whatever this event is, whatever this ceremony or that has to do with this pillar, whatever it is very important. It's literally literally the only way to get him back to the real world.
Without
So if
sacrificing
it's
another life, which we know they don't do.
yeah, so if this is some sort of true love event where he has to, whatever they have together has to be true love in order to get him out, it's just as good as, if not better, because it means so much more. The event is so integrally important to bringing them back together. It is more important than any true love kiss that they could possibly have. So I try to keep the expectations low because I know we tend to get burned a lot, but you know, if we get a true love event, I am happy.
I mean, seriously, back to life, everyone. Back to from literal actual death. Okay? That's like epic stuff right there.
Well,
That's way more important than breaking a sleeping curse. I'm sorry.
Just alone,
Well,
Emma going to hell for Killian is a huge act of true love.
Exactly. So, I mean, will fully believe that we're going to come out of this arc confirmed true love, but I don't think it's going to be by the traditional true love's kiss. I think it's going to be something else. And it was always their plan to have it be something else because it's Emma and she deserves bigger.
Yeah, and Emma and Killian have never been the most traditional couple anyway. So, you know what? Far be it from them to confirm true love in the traditional way.
it doesn't say that they won't do it. It just, it'll be moved probably. I mean, even Snowing had like 2 true love kisses on the series right now.
Yeah.
So, doesn't mean that they can't be like they're not going to do it at all.
Yeah, basically, I just want them to be confirmed true love. I don't care if it's true love's, I
think
don't know,
some people just
true
are
love's
mad
like elbow touch. I don't care.
Well,
Just something.
I think people are just mad because like it's a staple on the show. It's a thing. It's like the thing that everybody can agree upon that that's a true love thing.
Yeah.
They don't want any question about it because that's what it is. But like,
So
this is a different ship. This is like the ship of the show. I'm telling you.
so in a way, it's almost like it almost feels like they've written themselves into a corner that if they don't do this thing the way everybody expects them to do it via a true love's kiss or something, that it's not valid or some such. It's like people just expect like certain tropes to fall into place, and it's like, guys, yes, Captain Swan parallel Snowing, but the circumstances are never exactly the same. There's always some twist on it that the situation looks the same on the outside, the concept may be the same, but the actual execution is different. That's what makes them parallels rather than blatant ripoffs.
Well, then I'm giving. I mean, like, if you want an example of what we could get, it's going to be kind of. It's not going to be exactly like it, but it's going to be, in the sense, similar to like what they did in Frozen with Anna and Elsa. They saved her by, stepping in front of. That's a moment. That's a true love moment. They said it was true love.
It says
it was not them kissing.
Grandpappy literally says an act of true love, and saving her sister was an act of true love.
So, and people like that. I know you didn't like the Frozen arc in Once Upon a Time, but still, the movie, people like that.
But yeah, I mean, it's good. I mean, we have that True Love's pedestal thing hopefully coming up, so I think it clearly has to do with that. It has to.
At this point, anything is better than what happened with Brennan Jones and his nurse.
Oh God.
Yeah, do you want to be equivalent to that now?
No. Killian deserves better. Let's all be real.
Exactly.
Okay, so the last few are we only have three more, and they're all season 6 specs slash spoilers.
Mm.
Um, Abbyland 1982 says, "Hello all. First, I want to thank you for creating this very pro Emma Hook CS podcast. It's tough listening to some others, especially for Centrics, as there's a definite bias, especially for the Selskin clan. Why am I not shocked? Don't get me wrong, I love Rumple, or at least I love him being the evil ant pulling the strings behind the scenes. And once Hook was introduced, well, the crocodile is still my favorite episode, and I would watch an entire series of those two going toe to toe. But I digress. My question for the group is: do any of you have any theory, speculation on season end 6A based on spoilers? I know oftentimes the speculation ends up being far more interesting than what ends up on screen. In parentheses, Killian, Emma, labors of love. Anyone? I'm still interested in having fun with spec, even if it's a bit out there. Thank you all so much for the fun discussions and weekly banter. I look forward to your show each and every week to get my fangirl on. So what do we think?
I'm gonna be honest, I am so confused with the finale. Like, I have no idea what's gonna happen, but I like that I'm confused. I like that I don't know what's gonna happen. So I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what's gonna happen. I have no theories, no nothing, because it just looks like a big jumble of everything. So I don't know.
Shannon.
Is this on how Captain Swan is, or is this
Well,
on
I
how?
guess it's in general, like, or
Okay.
we just do Captain Swan if you want to do that.
Well, we'll do both. um, I think we're gonna do. I think it's Jekyll and Hyde. I first didn't think it was gonna be that, but then I think that those two characters, that's what they're gonna do with that. Because we did get an interview past week from
Wasn't it
with
Bex?
Rebecca, Rebecca Mader, and they talked about like the season end and a lot, and like people probably don't think it's gonna be what it is or whatever like that. And I think what that means, people are like, oh, it's not Jekyll and Hyde. Someone said, and I was like, well, what does that mean? What's giving you that information that it's not Jekyll and Hyde? We had the casting info that this guy is named Nathan, this guy named Jacob. I don't think that's their names. So I think that's what they were referring to.
That's clearly fake names.
So
Fake casting
I
names.
think that's maybe where we're going with that. So I know we have a mental institution, stuff like that. So that I don't know if this is just for the season finale or is that just going into the next season.
I mean, clearly it seems. I mean, they said that the proposed speculation Jekyll and Hyde characters are going to bleed into season 6. So
Okay,
like,
so
they bring Jekyll
I think
back with them through the portal, and then oops, we also brought Hyde, super oops, and then Jekyll Hyde, whatever is the villain in 6A. That's what I
right.
think.
So, but for Captain Swan, I think we'll get our true love something confirmed before the finale, and then I think they will bang. That's what I'm going with. Proposal is, that's my goal. But, I'm reaching hard for that goal, and I don't know.
Well, if Colin's talking about he wants them to get 5 minutes to have coffee, that kind of leads me to believe they're kind of
He
doing
knows
that.
what coffee is, too. Don't act like he does. Leanne told him in an interview what coffee is, so he cannot play. He can't play this like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. It's like, you liar. You know exactly what we're talking about.
He's like, I literally just said I
Leah
just want them
told
to have
us.
a drink together. I'm like, stop it, you asshole, stop.
I like when people are like, babies, that little that laugh thing, and he's like, no, I just want them to have coffee. I'm like, it's really coffee. It's like, no. So yeah, I think that'll happen. But,
Rams, what do you think?
I'm not really sure about Captain Swan and next season. It's hard for me to figure out yet. But I do agree with the generally accepted Jekyll and Hyde theory. Plus, I've also been reading this theory floating around that Regina gets cursed by the Jekyll and Hyde, curse or something like that, and she might end up splitting into the evil queen, and Regina herself won't remember that she's
Mhm.
doing bad stuff. I think that's a very interesting theory.
Yeah, I like that
So,
spec
but
too.
it's right. But I think it's hard for us to say too much before we see the finale. You
I
know.
Well, I thought I liked that theory with that one because I speculated that myself too. But I also thought like, well, that could be also Rumpel doing the same thing because he's the dark one or he's
Mm.
gold. I was
But
like,
but
well, I was like, wait. I was like, why don't we just have both of that happen? Both of them, or
well,
both of
we
them are Jekyll and
could.
Hyde.
We
Why
could,
not have
but
both?
we also know that Spinner Rumple is almost as much of a douchebag as Dark One Rumple. So would there really be much of a
That's true.
difference?
But I want to see. But it's a reason to have Rumpel in his makeup to see Bobby in his makeup again, where he can do that. Like it's sort of like a. It's like he's putting on that mask. Like what's the movie with what's his name?
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey, yeah, with the mask thing, where he just spins around and he's just
Oh
like,
yeah.
so he's like that kind of deal.
Smoking.
Smoking.
Smoke it.
Ro, what do you think? What do you think's gonna happen in season 6?
Oh, I have no idea.
That's not
But
fair.
but in regards to giving credit for creating the podcast, you should really thank Serena.
Yes, yes. Serena is awesome, and we wish she was here today. Lisa, what do you think?
The only thing, okay, are we allowed to include stuff that's just come out today?
Why not?
Sure.
Um,
This is the
The only
spoiler
thing-
section, everybody. If you don't want spoilers, turn off now.
the only thing we really know for sure is the Jekyll and Hyde plotline, but from Michelle and I have been talking about this, and this is kind of what we speculate, is that when Zelena opens that portal and they accidentally get sucked through it, we think they're going to wind up in Victorian England, and that's when they're going to meet the Jekyll character and break him out of the asylum and bring him back with them when they fall through the portal back in New York, and when they all drive back to Storybrooke, they're bringing him back, and they're not realizing that he's this split personality Jekyll and Hyde type character. And if you remember in this latest episode, when they asked Dorothy what had happened to her, and she said that when she got home, she told her family what had happened, and they didn't believe her. They thought she'd gone crazy, and they had her committed. I
Yeah,
know
that,
it's not. I know it's not the same place, but it's kind of tipping off like, they're putting that little Easter egg in there to kind of get us started down that particular road. But I personally think that when they come back, and again, I'm not speculating the whole Robin Hood dying thing, because if he is, okay, fine. But if that does happen and the funeral happens, the scene where Killian and Emma, they film them walking in front of Granny's, and they're all wearing black because ostensibly they've just come from the funeral. I think that the proposal conversation is going to start there. Like, they're going to start talking about it, sort of, but they're going to get interrupted by everything else that's going to go on, like getting sucked through the portal and all that shit. And the conversation is going to finish with what we saw of the finale filming the lift kiss and the leg popping.
did you read my post, Lisa?
Colin, at his meet and greet, Colin was asked today. He asked, so what do you guys know about the last 2 episodes? And they told him, and he's like, you're really close, but I can't say anything. And he had this little smirk. And then they asked him, is there going to be a proposal because of that lift kiss? And he's like, wow. And he blushed with a kind of little smile. And I was like, yes, confirmed. Proposal. So
Well-
I'm pretty sure like 95% sure that we're going to get that.
I'm gonna go with 80% just so I'm less disappointed if it doesn't happen. Alex,
Yes,
what do you think?
Um,
Sorry, Ro.
I sort of missed a question.
Season 6 spec.
What do you think's gonna happen?
Like, do you think we're gonna have Jekyll and Hyde?
Oh yeah, I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I think we are, but I don't know. I always keep my expectations low.
Someone
That's
said,
my answer for everything.
people that were filming, like the people that were there, that when they were filming that, I think they heard it was Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah, I think they did too. Ro,
They did
you were
hear, yeah.
Ro, you started to say something?
Yes, and I lost my train of thought.
Sorry, my bad. Okay, so Laughaholic wants to know if next season is going to be Regina centric. My biggest fear is that it will be season 2 season 4 2.0. Also,
Oh.
again, the charming and hook moments will only be in the first 4 episodes, and everything else is either filler with side characters or Emma Snow Henry cater to Regina / defeat villain / unnecessary CS charming angst / Rumbell drama. And I'm like, isn't that every season?
I know.
Basically, we should be used to that already.
But even if it is Regina-centric, we just had this question about being Hood-centric. It's not going to be completely Regina-centric.
Yeah.
You just can't. With that many characters, you can't do that. So, especially since we know Rumbell has, issues too, they're not just going to... They have to explore that too. So, but I don't think we're going to get the Captain Swan angst that we have been getting forever.
Well, no, because that's the pattern. If Regina is miserable, Emma is happy. So if Regina is grieving Robin / curse with Jekyll and Hyde shenanigans, then CS should be steady and fine, building up to their wedding, hopefully.
I read this theory about the sleeping curse on Emma. I'm not sure.
Oh dear.
No.
I've read that too, and I'm just like, no.
No, they gave it to Belle because she's stupid.
Oh my God, Belle.
I want to. Oh my God! I thought I would not hate anybody more than Regina.
Yes, let's talk about we've
Let's
got
talk
one
about
more, we've got one more question on the next episode, but let's talk about Belle.
She's an idiot.
She is a total idiot. Man.
I can't believe it. It's like, my God. So I don't know what the hell is that gonna. I mean, like now she's under a sleeping curse, so everybody's like, oh no, they're gonna get a true love's kiss. I'm like, again, they're gonna try that.
So let's run under the assumption that Rumpel will not wake her up. Who do you think will?
I think
Maurice.
what
Her father, I guess.
Well, okay, I think it's going to be Rumpel. Sorry to say this, but they kind of set it up with like, do you think I'm going to give up power, blah blah blah, and she says her dad will do it. But I think they're kind of trying to set it up that Rumpel will eventually give up his power for Belle or whatever. But I am so over Rumpel. I just can't even with them.
I mean, here's my question: how long are they planning for this to go on? I mean, she's under a sleeping curse, and if they want Rumpel to wake her up, they have to give him some form of redemption first. Unless that's what he's in New York for. He's trying to figure out a way to wake her up without kissing.
It's possible. Even probable.
The thing is, I'm wondering if it's not that at all. That they fix that. Everybody's assuming it's that they're gonna do that, but it's not that at all. I mean, it could either be A, Captain Swan, whatever they have, can affect everybody else.
That's possible.
Or 2, Henry uses a pen to write her back awake.
Also possible.
Hey, Henry could true love his hair. He probably loves his grandma.
Grandma, who's a moron.
I will give her this, that she finally managed to grow some brain cells and realize that Rumpel will never love her the way she wants to be loved. That his first and only love is his magic and his power. She finally managed to get that and demonstrated that by saying that she did not want him to be the one to kiss her, that she wanted it to be her father. Granted, she and her father might have had a rocky relationship, but still, the love for a parent and their child, it's not there. There's always going to be a familial true love that's involved in that period. No matter how many times the two of them have fought because of her relationship choices, it's not really. They're still father and daughter. There's still love there. So if anybody's going to wake her up, it's probably him.
Well, if they progress her pregnancy, say she has that baby while she's still asleep.
Well, okay.
What if that baby gives her a kiss?
They did that's why she went under the sleeping curse in the first place. She said specifically, if I'm frozen in time in the sleeping curse, then you have all the time in the world to save our child because Rumpel's immortal, so he's not going to die. She's under a sleeping curse, and so her body is frozen. I mean, this completely ignores the fact that in the original Sleeping Beauty story, Aurora gets pregnant and gives birth while under the curse. But whatever. That's way too dark for this show.
Yeah.
Well, is it?
But
I mean, seriously.
But here's the thing I don't understand with Belle. She's like coming to Rumple to protect their child, going, you're a father, blah blah blah, you'll do whatever to protect our child. This is the same man who let his first kid fall through a portal into an
I
unknown
know.
world. But okay. And now she's turning to Zelena for a sleeping curse. Zelena, who acquired her child by raping its father.
I know.
I'm like,
Why
why are you
is
so
that
with
like
villains?
Why no? Why?
So is she technically in the fire room and her baby's in the fire room now?
Well,
I guess so.
baby is
No, I
being
think
generous.
the fire room is only after you break some glass or something, right? I don't think they go to the fire room.
No, they do.
But,
They do.
No,
when they-
not right away.
well, I think they do.
Henry
because,
did. Henry did.
And Snow did, because remember that's why
Charming
she
did.
wanted the... Charming did too. Because that's
Okay.
why he went
I thought
under
they
the curse.
just
So-
dreamt about it later, but
You're
yeah,
the
you're right.
best mom in the world, Belle. You went in the fire room. It's like, now your body is going to be on fire on the outside, just like
Wonderful.
Charming's did. It's like, okay.
Wow.
I don't think any of us really pretends to understand what goes through Belle's mind anymore. She's a lost cause. I'm sorry.
Like, I would have felt more sympathetic to her, but she said, if we had gotten out of the deal with Hades, I wouldn't have minded so much. Okay, come on, is that what a hero would do?
The thing is, I don't understand why she keeps going back to him. Like, why aren't you talking to the people that are heroes to help you?
Exactly.
Like, you are such an idiot that you don't even know what's going on. I think it's because she feels if she goes to them, they're going to call her an idiot. It's pretty much what they're going to do. It doesn't make any sense. Like, why do you keep going back to this evil man that doesn't help you, that misleads you, and you think he's going to solve all your problems, and you don't want him to use dark magic? Yeah, right. That's not
Yeah,
going to happen.
right.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. Seriously unbelievable.
And also
he
she
doesn't
said-
have...
She said something also that like made me like, oh my gosh, fuck you, Belle. She said like that she like my baby's gonna get stolen just like when Emma was gonna steal Zelena's baby. It was like Emma did not steal Zelena's baby. She stole Zelena.
Oh my
Did
god,
not
I
steal
totally
Zelena.
forgot about that.
I was
Oh,
like, what
God.
the fuck? I hate you, Belle.
Did Belle miss that episode?
Apparently she did, because she...
He probably was unconscious.
As a matter of fact, Belle, Emma sped up Zelena's pregnancy just so that the baby would not come under any harm, because she wanted to kill Zelena, not the baby. She didn't kidnap anybody's baby.
For a librarian and someone who reads a lot of books, she is so stupid. Just like
She's a bimbo.
I don't get it.
Oh my god. Wow.
Wow. Not a lot of love there.
Well, it's
Nope.
just they keep doing this over and over and over again. At some point, you just have to either write her off or you just have to throw up your hands in frustration because she never learns anything.
It's like
Well,
she
she's
is
being written
willfully
off because
ignorant.
she's pregnant, right? In
Yeah.
real life?
Well,
Yes.
yeah, but apparently
But-
she's still in the finale, is what Adam and Eddie said in the recent interview.
Well, I think that's stuff she filmed before she went on maternity leave.
Okay, but what are they going to
Like-
really do with her?
I don't know.
I'm just
I think she
really
should go back.
disappointed.
I think she should go back in the insane asylum. Is what she should do. She should go back 28 years into that mental institution. It'll fit in with the plot.
Mm.
I feel disappointed that the writers keep doing the same thing to Rumpel, and over the years, Rumpel has become less and less sympathetic. He's more like a two-dimensional villain now. He doesn't have the depth he had a couple of seasons ago, so it's
agree.
hard for me to even look at him as a real character. I mean, Rumpel was one of the favorite characters I had in the initial seasons, but I feel like they've just taken something out of him now.
Well, do you think? I think the way they're portraying Rumbelle is very ironic because I think it's like the same as Zelina and Hades, but she's gonna be the stronger person than Belle is. She's in this Zelina's in love with this guy who is just wants to, chaos. He wants to create chaos. He wants to, fuck everybody over, just like Rumpel. Oh my God, same guy. And Zelina has a daughter. Oh my God, Belle has a child coming up. So Zelina choosing her child is what Belle should be watching happen. So
Except she can't now because
I
she's a
know.
worker.
So it's like the thing that she's supposed to be watching is not going to happen apparently. But I think like they have like a similar thing, and actually Zelina is going to be smarter than Belle.
Honestly, I would have preferred if they had just not written Emily's pregnancy in. It's not as though she's the first actress who's ever become pregnant on a show before.
Well, Jenny's pregnant. Jenny is literally pregnant right now too, so it's like.
It can be hidden. You could have just covered it up, give her a big coat, film her from the chest up. It can be done.
By the time Emily gave birth, they're not even starting to film season 6. There was no point.
She already did.
Yeah, she already gave birth, so it's not like, they need to cover her up for season 6 or anything. But I think the reason was they just don't know where else to go with Rumble. I mean, they need a reason for Rumble to be together and keep Rumble sympathetic. And apparently giving him another baby and repeating his whole arc is the way to do it.
Oh, they sigh.
Hopefully he doesn't drop this one down a portal.
Oh, God.
If she's smart, she'll take that baby and go across the town line and leave and never come back.
That's why I thought they went to New York, is that's what she did.
She'll move to Australia where people have her accent.
I don't mind.
Yes, you can move in with Ro.
Yeah.
Belle moves in
Well,
with
I
Ro.
wouldn't go that far.
But,
I don't want some dark one showing up at my doorstep.
Yeah, he'll murder you, Ro.
Look what happened to Will Scarlet. You're going to be the new Will Scarlet. You're going to end up in the woods. Just mysteriously disappears.
Michelle, they're picking on me.
All right. Okay, we've got one more question. It's from Mai. Surprise, surprise.
She really wanted to do this podcast.
She did. Well, y'all had to come. Y'all picked the wrong week to come back. Mai wants to know about the sneak peek, the Charming versus James one. It was everything I could have ever wanted. Josh Dallas is absolutely amazing. Really hope it all works out. Also, it's going to be fun seeing James acting as Charming. What did you guys think of it?
It was hot.
Oh yeah, I'm excited.
I hope that there is more to that. Like, there's going to be more, not that, but like more. I hope Killian is the one that figures it out. Because apparently the way the promo looks, it looks like Emma and Robin are in the woods with James. So I'm guessing James either handcuffed him or chained him or did something to him, to David, to like make sure he doesn't, interfere. And then, well, Snow's not there. So who else is there going to help this guy? So it's got to be Killian and maybe Henry.
And it looks like James puts the cuff on Emma.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You probably heard about his niece's magic from Cruella.
She kick
What's
his
that?
ass anyway.
Yeah, she's having a really hard time with that cuff. It's like twice that she's been cuffed with that magical cuff.
I think from what we saw in that scene where he's holding a gun on them, it might come down to because it looks to me like Charming may escape and find his way back. So if it's the two of them and her, I think it might come down to one of those no, it's me type deals where she's got to figure out which one is her father and which one is James. Especially if one of them drops the gun.
Well, we know in spoilers, for filming spoilers of this episode, that it was Emma, Robin, Corella, James, Killian, and I think David was there too, because it's stunt double, down by the docks. So we know what happens when you go off the docks, right?
Yes.
So I don't think it's going to be Corella. I think it's going to be Mr. Evil Twin.
I just can't wait to see how well he manages to play David and who's going to be the first one to figure it out.
He's gonna fail utterly.
I hope it's Killian. Please God.
I'm not anticipating that at
I-
all, so that I'm pleasantly surprised if it happens. I really don't.
I know.
I don't think,
I should
given the
lower
way,
my. Yeah.
given the way they treated Captain Charming in 5A, and the fact that it took, let's see, this was episode 18.
But
for them-
seriously, I mean, like,
for them to reconcile after what happened in 5A, yeah, I'm not.
but
really
it'd be
confident
good
that they're gonna
development
have it.
because we know in the finale that Killian and Snow and Charming are together. So, for good development purposes.
You do realize what show we're talking about, right?
Well, I don't know what you're talking about. I am in my own world. It's called a brand new world.
And Killian,
Or a whole
Killian is
new world.
It's a whole new world.
You know,
Yeah.
these people should have realized James might post something like this, and they should have created like a secret password, or
I
like
know,
a secret
right?
handshake or something.
Tacos.
And you know
Oh,
something,
God.
That's the password.
Killian is actually a very perceptive person, so it would not surprise me if because in Neverland he was literally the only person to notice that Charming, because that shot he took, the Dreamscape shot, and it was very small and it was hard to notice because it happened in the heat of battle. The fact that Hook managed to see that and was perceptive enough to pick that out with everything that was going on. Hook is a very perceptive person, so it would not surprise me if he was the first one to figure out that something was rotten in the state of, that something was definitely
This
rotten.
same goats.
I think it'd be
And he would save his bro.
yeah, but like
I mean,
think
trust me, I want this Captain Charming thing, I really do, but I'm not getting my hopes up for it because then I'll be horribly disappointed if it doesn't happen.
oh, I hope it happens. Because like there's literally where is Killian? And I can't see I know that we have a scene with Cora talking to Killian, but it's very brief. So
What is up with that?
yeah, I don't understand that. But I thought like Regina and Zelina and Cora would have their own thing in her house, like separated from everybody else, and then it could be Corella and Robin and Emma working out whatever and with James or something, and then where does that leave the rest of David and Killian and Henry? They got to do something with that. It's just you can't just leave them alone. I just want I just want Killian to be Killian to ask like David, like, okay, prove it's really you, and just he asks him a series of questions. Prove you are my real mate.
No. I see. This makes me sad because you could totally have that scene from the first X-Men movie where there's multiple Wolverines, and he comes back up and Cyclops says, prove it's you, and he looks at Cyclops and says, you're a dick, and that's how he knows it's the real Wolverine. But we can't have that because this is on ABC.
No, but it's Greek mythology, so it's good.
Say it in Greek.
Yeah.
But yeah, about the true love pedestal.
Say
It just
something.
seems
Yeah.
it just seems really convenient that they both have the same haircut and stubble.
What?
Oh, we're talking
James
about
and
James.
David.
Oh,
and
James.
David. Well, Josh has to play them both, so they have to. And plus, it makes the Switch look better. we won't have Snow going, why'd you change your clothes?
Oh my God, Snow!
But James doesn't have the scar.
But the stubble covers up the scar.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Or at least
I think
Damn
the Avengers should
Clever.
actually make it a habit because someone or the other keeps impersonating them. First it's Cora, and then it's Zelina, and then
Rumple.
they all need to have like an intricate system of passwords that are secret handshakes that they have to post each other with.
I love it. But
Yes.
someone write that fic.
Yeah. Say something.
Oh yeah, fanfic. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Say something that only I know. I'm gonna punch you in the face. I'm gonna shoot him in the face.
That is your mission, fandom. Come up with the fic where everybody has secret passwords and hand gestures
Yeah.
to
They did.
distinguish them
We
from
did.
their
Remember the Eagle One and whatever. And
from people who
Oh,
would
yeah.
impersonate them.
So there's like a list now about how many characters Captain Swan need to kick their asses. I think Hades, Rumple, James, and Arthur.
Yeah.
Did I miss anyone?
No,
Well,
that sounds about right.
what do you think is going to be the outcome of Hades? Like, I can't. Well, obviously, Greg is not going to come in season 6. So, do you think he goes back to Zeus's Mount Olympus?
Yes.
Possible.
I think the clue is with the sneak peek one, because he told Zelina that even if he leaves the underworld, it will still continue. So I don't think he's needed for that. So maybe he will true love his Zelina and become a real man, and he'll say, "I'll wait for you forever," or whatever.
Well,
Or like you guys said, what?
Well, here's something related to this coming episode or whatever. Is what do you think Korra's secret is about her
Oh.
daughters?
I think
Ooh.
I saw the spec going around that they met as children.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
So
thought
didn't
too.
forget.
She
they
erased
got
their
along,
memories.
Because
Maybe they
apparently
were really close and when they were kids, and Korra just erased her memories because she couldn't risk her reputation getting ruined
Yeah.
or whatever.
Mhm.
Typical Korra.
Yeah.
Well, they had a actually today the girl that plays young Zelina has a
Bless
picture
that
with
girl.
yeah she was a fan actually. I think I read one of her blog things that she was a fan of Once Upon a Time before she even got cast. So
Yay, I love when that
um,
happens.
so of course she's fangirling. But she posted a picture of her and Barbara, who plays Korra, and she's all dressed up in a freaking like crown and has like a white thing, like maybe a cape on her. It looks like she's like now royalty, and like Korra's wearing enchanted forest dress, like a red dress, like her, not like very, not very dramatic red dress, but like I was like, what is this with young Zelina looking like a princess now?
Yeah, she has to have somehow got back to the Enchanted Forest and met her sister and mommy.
and Regina's dad is in the cast of characters too. Valet.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And Zelina's dad as well, the
Yeah,
woodcutter.
Zelina's dad too.
Oh, wow, okay.
We've seen pictures of Zelina look like poor girl that was back with her dad, and now there's this picture here, so I don't know.
Wait, Zelina's father is in The Con Man?
No, her
Yes.
dad in Oz, her adopted dad.
The dick dad.
No, actually, that's
he, well, he was a dick.
Oh,
Well, they
yeah.
both were.
Well, yeah, they would get along together.
Hey, maybe this is when Regina learned to dance and then Korra erased her memories.
Yes, you've
Yes.
cracked it. You've cracked it.
Because, come on, Korra would obviously have forced Regina to learn, right?
I know, right? That's what we've been saying this whole time.
Interesting.
Mind blown.
Yes.
We've solved it, everyone.
Ta-da.
Okay, does anyone have any final thoughts on Ruby Slippers?
Well,
Mm-mm.
I like the callback to Snow and Ruby's friendship when they were talking just together.
Oh, yeah. No, it's sweet.
Captain Charmin.
Rose forever.
Captain Charming Cobra Swan fan.
Captain Charming saved this episode.
Definitely.
And Captain
Yeah.
Swan, of course.
Yes. They're
Yes.
with their holding hands and hugging.
They saved the
Yeah,
show.
and Emma giving him the adoring look when he said what he did to replace Snow's name with David's.
Mhm.
Oh, it was so sweet.
And the hug, yes.
Yes. More hugs.
More
people.
hugs, please.
Although, if you could add in some making out with the hugs, that would
And
be
a bed.
helpful.
Horizontal hugs.
On a bed, please.
Yes, horizontal.
Seriously.
All right.
All right. Well, I think that's it for today. We will talk to you all next week after Sisters, episode 19. Bye.
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 Bye.